Okay. Uh, Hi. So, background. Um, as most of you guys are aware, about a month ago, I was streaming, playing, viewer stacks with some of you guys who are in the chat right now. Um, when you guys saw me and Sunsfan getting robbed. Um, so pretty much what happened, I think you guys only saw obviously like on the stream, you heard the noise when they broke in, and then you see me like walk off the screen, and then later on you guys see the guy with a gun, and yeah. So since I know I wrote about it on Facebook, but uh, yeah, okay. So like I don't know why I'm having a hard time doing this. I'm usually pretty good at telling the story. It's really weird. Okay. So what happened was I was sitting here streaming and we hear a noise outside and I thought it was the cats. So I told Sunsfan, hey, could you go check that out? Like what like like the cats might be like on the counter again or something. From what he told me, so he walks out into our living room, sees the cat on the counter staring at the door, and then he actually even checks outside the door, like he looks through the peephole and doesn't see anything. So as he starts walking back, that's when they kicked our door in. Um, so that's when you guys hear that loud bang and Sunsfan going whoa whoa whoa, that's them coming in with their it's two guys coming in with their guns pointed. And then you hear Sunsfan going whoa whoa whoa. So that's when I take off my headset, I get up, and I at the time I didn't know what was going on because I was in the room. As soon as like I step into the hallway, I see more than one person and I see guns and I immediately drop to the floor, and like kind of just like cover like not wanting to like look at their faces and whatnot. And they were yelling, "Where are the narcotics? Where are the narcotics?" Um, so from what I understand from them, or from what they were saying, is that I guess wait, so from there they told me and Sunsfan to go into the room and stay on the ground, and they start going through our whole apartment, taking like going through everything, and started like taking like some of our stuff. Like they for some reason didn't care about the Xbox and the PlayStation because they couldn't sell that or pawn it or whatever. But they took other things like they took my guns, they took the laptop, our luggage, our phones, our my credit card, my ID, everything pretty much. Um, and at that point, it was really weird because like apparently, from what I understand from the two people, was that they were supposed to go to someone else. Like their target was some other person who, at this point, I assume was a drug dealer. Was a drug dealer because they knew he had guns and they knew he had drugs. But that fell through. So for some reason, they chose out of all of the apartment. I mean, we were on the second floor. We were like in the middle of the complex. It was very random that of all the people to pick, they picked us. At this point, we assume that it was because we were awake at the time. Um, and then I'd like to address the fact, like I know I've read some of the comments online, and this is like the only part I'm gonna say like about this is like some people say, oh, I would have kept my gun right next to me. Oh, I would have shot them. There was really absolutely no time to do that, and the options of either like shooting Sunsfan, who was in the middle of me and them, plus my guns are mostly hunting rifles, like target for target practice. It's not ideal, but as much as I appreciate, some like really gung ho militia people, anybody with proper training would know that you don't engage unless you have a shot, and at the same time, that should be your last resort. You know. Um, So that's what happened. So while they were going through this stuff, and this was at around 4 in the morning, um, I was like, in the room, and I was like, when like 10, 15 minutes passed and no cops came, I was like, okay, nobody in our apartment complex heard the noise. And I understand it was 4 in the morning, but I knew some of our neighbors like woke up pretty early to go to work. So that was really weird that like absolutely like no one heard it because they were yelling. They kicked down our door. Um, and so at that point, you know, you're kind of just like lost all hope. I knew my stream was on, and I was thinking two things. One was that I hope some one of you guys like noticed what the fuck was going on and would somehow figure out a way to call the police. And second is that I was hoping that they did not see that the camera was on and that it was like being broadcasted, because then we would have been like in big trouble with them as at the same time. Um, so there was two people. One of them so we've labeled them. One of them was calm guy and the other was crazy guy. So crazy guy, he's crazy because he was straight up like nervous being there. He didn't like, he just wanted to get in, get stuff and get the fuck out. Now, when they bursted in, Sun's fan pretty much said, take everything that you want, like take anything, take everything, like, blah blah blah. So when we they found out they wouldn't have any drugs, and I guess like the guns that I had weren't enough, like to them it was a very disappointing bust, and they literally said that. Sun's fan said like, I'll give you everything, I'll give you money, and the guy says, what money? Like he's like, oh, I have 20,000 in the bank, which wasn't really true. But now that caught their interest, or caught the calm guy's interest. So um when crazy guy, we didn't want to like, so both of us were still face down on the ground. Calm guy wanted at this point to just stick around, so even his friend, or not his friend, like whoever his accomplice was who was in the car, was calling him and say, hey dude, we need to go. And he said, no, I want to get his money. So at this point we've become hostages because he wanted to wait until the bank opened at 9 o'clock in the morning. I would be his hostage. I would put, like he would have me. And he pretty much like threatened that, pretty much implied that like for nothing, for him not to hurt me, um, Son's fan needed to take out all the money he had in the bank and then give it to him, and we would be the ones driving him to the bank, and he would drop him off somewhere after. At this point, the other guy was already gone from the apartment. It was just me, Sun's fan, and Calm Guy, who was we like to call, because like I said, he was gonna stay with us and wait for the bank to open because he really wanted the money because we were such a disappointing bust. So it's like it's frustrating to hear that, like how we're very disappointed, or like we're kind of sad that we didn't get a lot from you guys, but then at the same time I'm like, well then why the fuck are you here? um so yeah, so that so he was with us, and he was pretty fucking cocky and didn't care. They, none of them, like he didn't wear a mask, the other guy didn't wear a mask, he didn't wear gloves, the other guy did at one point, um but then I guess took it off. Like that's what the guy literally said. Was like, I don't even care. Like I don't care. You guys can see me. I don't care. I'm touching everything. Like I'm gonna go back to Mexico. Like after I'm done here. Blah blah blah. I've been in gunfights before. And at this point, like like me and like Sunspan were sitting up, and that was like at 5 something in the morning. So it's almost been like approaching. We were approaching 2 hours, like almost six. And I said like yeah, like I don't care, I'm even wearing a bulletproof vest, and like I saw like like the shirt underneath and whatnot. So at that point, like all I could stare at was like his shirt, and I call like in my head I call him like Red Shirt because Star Trek, I don't know. um and then we hear the doorbell ring. uh so doorbell rings, and in my head I was like, that's odd because the other guy would just like walk in and out, but at the same time I figured maybe it's still his friend, I don't know. And so he leaves our bedroom, and like he leaves me and Sun's fan in the bedroom, and he goes outside and he opens the door, and I hear him say like, I didn't hear anything like at first, and then I heard him say, "Oh no, no, like oh no, everything's okay over here," kind of thing. And I was like, what the heck? And then next thing I hear is the next thing I hear is someone yelling, "Get down!" Get down on the ground, like really loud. And I was like, and I look at Sunsfan and I said, I think that's the cops. And then I hear the yelling again, like, "Get down on the ground." And as soon as I heard that, I told Sunsfan, like, that's the cops. So we both get up. Get up and I lock our bedroom door. I close the door, lock the bedroom door. We go to the bathroom, the master bathroom, lock that door, and then sit down in the tub. And we're literally just staring at each other, like in shock, like we're freaking here right now, staring at each other in the freaking bathroom. Um, so we hear like commotion outside, and then the next thing I hear is someone like yelling in the apartment, "Tempe police!" And we still were just like sitting there, like almost like thinking, I hope that's the cops, because the other guys came in pretending to be the cops or trying to pretend to be the cops. And then the next thing I hear is a female voice yelling, "Tempe police!" So that's when I was like, thank God. And I get up and I go out into our bedroom and I said, "We're in here. We're both in here. We're okay." So they asked us like, "Is anybody in there with you?" And we said no. And then um, that's when we said, and that's when they said like, "Okay, we'll clear the rest of the apartment and then come in and whatnot." Um, so after that, like, the police came in and they separated us to get our statements. And what's it called? And then I asked the cop who was with me, like, "How did you know to come here?" And he said, like, "I'll tell you after we're done asking you questions." So he asked like all these questions, like about what happened. And then he and then he goes, "So you wanted to know how we knew to come here, and I'm going to tell you that we got a call from Germany, because apparently you were playing a computer game on the internet and they saw everything happen." And at that moment, like, I can't even begin to freaking express, like, you know the relief that I had, um that you guys like came through. I guess. uh I don't know. I mean, we're still like freaking. I mean, right now for me, it's a lot easier now, I guess, because um, we're. I feel like I'm in a better neighborhood and whatnot. But I don't know. It's hard to imagine, like, I guess what goes on at that moment, and like thinking that you're gonna die, or you're like, you're gonna get hurt, and people like threatening you, and people pointing guns, like, holding a gun to like your back or your head. Uh, so what happened? So this is what happened, from what I understand. Like, trying to piece together things that was going on. So when you guys saw, like the gun, like the guy with the gun, from what I understand, it's like you guys like went through like the BTS stream, like Shiver's stream, like all these other streams, trying to figure out. I don't know who exactly like was able to get a hold of Ace, and Ace, amazingly enough, saved freaking Neil's phone number when Neil was, like accidentally put it up for everybody to see. And like, at like 5 in the morning, like, Neil was trying to figure out, who the heck do I call? Who do I know that knows where they live? You know. And amazingly enough, our friend, like Spawn, who, if you guys like ever watch, like, Shannon like stream Hearthstone or whatever, like, he's in our apartment all the time. He works like late. He works the night shift. He was playing Dota, and Neil was able to message him and say, "You need to call the police and tell them like where to go." So, and then there they were, and the guy, like, tried to run away. Like, the guy who stayed with us, who held us hostage, tried to stay with us. Um, he tried to run away, but they caught him in the next apartment, or in the next complex over, and they took me to ID him. And the guy took off like whatever, like, polo shirt he had over, like, to try and like pretend that wasn't him. But because he was so cocky to show, like, oh, I wear a bulletproof vest, I recognized the shirt that he had and the blue logo that, that was visible, because at the time that's all I could think of was what kind of bulletproof vest was light blue. Um, so yeah, so they have him in custody. I don't know what's gonna happen with the other people involved. We never saw their face. The most that we have is whatever anybody saw on stream. Um, I really appreciated, like, at that time, it was pretty rough for me. Any noise, I mean, during the day I'm okay. Seeing the news, like hearing about it, like reading about it, it doesn't it sometimes it still doesn't feel like it's me, or that happened to me. It's pretty weird and surreal, but at the same time I'm like happy to be here. So, you know, like coming back, like I had like a crisis counselor and whatnot, like every freaking single noise, every little noise, it was like here and there it still happens, but I think it's better. And I do appreciate like so many of you guys like reaching out. It was really weird to that was like kind of like my what's it called, like way of handling the process, is reading all of your guys' messages, knowing, like, I mean, obviously there's like some really freaking fucked up people out there who, despite everything that happened, just say the nastiest things to you. But at the same time, there's a lot of good people out there, and people who reached out who were in like similar situations, which I feel like it was good to like hear from like people who've had the same experience, knowing that it does get better. So yeah, and like Matt was really like, awesome. Like he helped with getting us the footage to the police like pretty fast and all that. He's great. Like, so I'm like really grateful for him for that too. I mean, and anybody who was just like involved and like who just made that conscious effort to try and you know get people over. So did the fireworks bother me? Um, thank God, like we're in a neighborhood that it's not so bad. I don't think it does because I haven't heard anything. Um, so am I afraid? Okay, I'm gonna try and read some of like your comments. Am I afraid that their accomplices might want revenge? Yeah, that the guy literally threatened like that we can't call the cops. Like, oh, that they'll be watching our apartment. Gang division is, I know, involved with our case as well. Um, so, but I can't like let them like let me live in fear at the same time. I mean, obviously, I can be pretty freaking paranoid, but I can't do that, and you know, so my drawings, I took them out right now while I'm doing this Q&A thing. I'll let Matt know, and I'm sure you'll see him. Um, oh, thank you, Peter, and thank you, Mad Hefar. Um, thanks, Elaine. I know. I'm excited to see you too. You owe me a freaking big hug. Or I owe, no, I'm like, it's the other way around. I owe you a freaking big hug. Yeah, after that happened, there was no way we were gonna stay there. Thank God the apartment complex was, smart enough to not keep us or like try to keep us on our lease because there's no way I was gonna stay there. So were we able to recover anything that was stolen? No. So for the past month, I have no cell phone, I have no driver's license, I cannot drive, and I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, you can do my makeup. I'm not very. Girls' night, absolutely. um, Yeah, so I don't have a driver's license. I mean, that's like another like big fear for me is the fact that they even have it. So, but my driver's license is from California. Oh my God, Elaine, we're like soulmates. Ah. Um. So let's see. Yeah. So they took our laptop. I mean, the guns you saw, luggage, some jewelry. Um. Trying to think like there's some other stuff. Like my camera. They took my camera, our phones. Huh. Um. um. I mean, we offered them like pretty much like everything that we had at that house as long as they left us alone. They wanted the money in the bank, which if like the police didn't come, that they would have gotten. So, um, yes, Sunsvan and I are going to go to TI. How did it affect Sunsvan? I feel like he'll be probably it'll be better for him to answer that question. I know he's I it's so like to me I really appreciate the fact that he was amazing during that whole incident where he kept calm and just like kept the guy talking, kept him interested and I mean, if that guy wasn't so greedy and just didn't want that money in the bank and he just didn't keep the guy there and kept him like, just like talking and bragging and whatnot, I don't think we'd have him either. So, hmm, uh, I don't know, like how far, pretty far is that's I think that's all I'm pretty comfortable to say right now. The kittens, oh my god, that was like one of the scariest parts. So after the police came and you look through our apartment and you look out and you see the whole thing, like it's like mess everywhere because they tore it apart, like it's like chaos, right? And all the doors were freaking open and I could not find my cats anywhere. It took me probably So my biggest fear was that they ran outside the door because they were just like so scared. Um, and I ended up finding Owly. Uh, like he stuffed. I saw his tail. Like his tail was like all bushy, and he stuffed himself in like in this like little like hole in between some boxes, and he was just like frozen there. He was like so scared, poor thing. And Monkey took me another like almost an hour from finding Owly to find her, and she actually like crawled into like the back part of like the washing machine, and I had to like use food to coax her because I checked there like 2 times hoping that she'd be there, but she wasn't. And I was like, I just had this weird feeling that like I'm gonna find her. I was like so scared that I wasn't, but okay. How much time were you held hostage? Probably about 2 hours. So they came in at 4, and the cops didn't get there until like close to 6. Um, yes, Neil is here right now, so Neil does know our new address. And we've actually started we're going to start an emergency contact list for our company. So um, yeah, I'll probably like cut up this VOD just for the benefit of like anybody because I don't know if I can keep talking about this every time I stream. I'd rather kind of just move forward from here. Um, so I'll save this as a VOD and then I'll put that VOD up on YouTube. Yeah, it's a long time. I mean, once like that first like 15, 20 minutes pass, you kind of lose all hope and you think, shit, no one's gonna come. And we've seen their faces, like, they don't give a fuck. I don't know if they're gonna shoot us or not. Mm. No, Owly. Our other cat is named Owly. King Bartholomew. That's our nickname because he looks like an owl. Hmm. What happened with the second guy? I don't know what happened with the second guy. Unfortunately, he's probably still out there. Hmm. My family is like close to where you are. Oh, boo. Hmm. Oh, you're so sweet, Elaine. Um, the first 15 was the worst for you. Yeah, I agree. I think that it was similar on our end. After a while, you kind of get numb. No, like, I mean, just the thought, like, okay, when around 5 something or 5 o'clock, like when the guy decides that he's gonna stay there until 9 o'clock, when the freaking um, bank opened, it you can't kind of just like sit there and you're like, fuck, like we're stuck with this guy for like the next 4 hours or so. Thank you, Casper. Oh, well, thank you, one Kyle. Do I think it's a good experience, something to learn from? I wouldn't say like it's a good experience. The learning from it is more of a, I don't know. It's kind of hard because it's just so random. You know how of all the thing, or like of all the people, and of all, like, I mean, even they literally said that we picked you, like, you just have you have bad luck. We picked you, out of like everybody after the original person that they targeted. Um, what's it called? Like, didn't work out. But then, as much as much of a bad luck that was, everything after, with like you guys and getting them there, it's like, it's like RNG's luck, I guess. I feel like just like kind of like laugh about that. Thank you, BCYD. Oh, um, yeah. So I don't know. That's, I guess, that. I don't know how what else to say about it. I have heard from Reeves. We had dinner with him tonight. So if you know what's personally happening with him as well, you should check his Facebook. Um, I mean, when it rains, it pours, I guess, in Dota Cinema. uh, oh, if something again happened in the future, it's hard to say. Honestly, you know, my crazy paranoid brain, especially when I used to live by myself in LA, I've thought about like what the fuck I would do in that situation. There's just no way to know how you'd react, you know? Um, oh, what do I think would have happened if I wasn't streaming? Honestly, I've thought about it and I don't even, it's so hard to not like to imagine what would have happened, because guaranteed right now, uh, it wouldn't have ended the way it did. And it was hilarious. I mean, it's not hilarious. I don't know why. It's like interesting because I started my stream so late, and I was seriously debating whether I should or shouldn't because I was tired. And I even said like, and I kept even asking Sunspan, I'm like, should I stream still? Should I do this? I was like, it's up to you. And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna do it. It was like, I almost didn't. So that's like one of the things that I try to not think about because I was specifically instructed by our like by the crisis counselor people to not think about it. Um, because if you get stuck in like what if this, what if that, which I kind of did a lot in the beginning part, it's just, it just like fucks you up like in the head, and you don't wanna, you can't, it's hard to move forward, like thinking that way, I guess. Hi, Pseudo. Hmm. So, all I can say, I guess, is that thank God I was streaming, and thank God for you guys, in my stream. So, hmm, hmm. Yeah, it's fine. Uh, so yeah, that's that. Um, hmm. It's insane. Like, I like Ace. Did it surprise me that everything? Yeah, to this day, every time like we just think about what happened and how it went down, it's just all these like little things that just happened to work out so that you could get to the next step. Right. And just the fact that you had like Neil's number, for example, it's like, how the heck? Just because Spawn was supposed to be going to bed already, but he just decided that he'd play Dota at that time. I don't know. It's insane. So, hmm. What am I waiting for the most at TI for? Honestly, just meeting everybody who's like into Dota. So, just the community, the friends that we've made through here. Like, I'm looking forward to seeing like you know, like the guys and girls from BTS, um, friends that I've made high ground as well. I don't know, but no, I know he does because he works like really late, like hours. But from what I understand, is that he was like that was like his last game, and he was supposed to like go to bed. So, so, um, yeah, I don't know how to get into professional Dota. Not sure. I mean, just keep doing. Well, RPM's a girl on BTS. Or RMP. Why did I say RPM? RPM's for. Okay. Um, how many times will I be streaming? Well, I don't. Unfortunately, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to tomorrow. We'll see. Yes, tonight is the first time that I'm able to stream since that incident happened, and then after this, I go to TI. So I probably won't right now unless some miracle happens and I find like a way to stream over there. I won't be able to until I get back again from TI. But I do promise, as usual, like I think I did this last year, so anybody who's like into Dota, I do a lot, I'll be doing a lot of my usual giveaways on Facebook and Twitter. And if you guys are going to be at TI4, please, come say hi to me. Uh, you know, 1v1 mid only with Sunspan. I'll lose, but mm, I can do both. As a pet, I don't think so. Would I be doing anything differently? Yeah, uh, I mean, getting a security system, having, vision. Like, I mean, I know, like, this whole freaking war jokes that you guys love to do. Um, so that, you know, I mean, it's just hard because I mean, home invasion is a completely different thing than like being robbed and someone like breaking into your house. From what I understand, according to the police, it's a, you know, planned, like 99% of them are planned by people who know the victims. We don't know these guys. They did plan it, but apparently something went wrong with their plans and now they decided to come to us. Um, so, I mean, I guess just like trying to like be aware before, before it gets to the point where you're not able to do anything about it is what I do. I know, Elaine. The cats are bigger now, but they're not. I don't think they're like super big yet. Like I don't know. They look, or maybe it's just because I'm so used to seeing them. They don't seem as big as I'd like them to be still. But hmm. Well, my family's in California. So I'm actually there a lot. I was there for my sister's wedding like a few weeks ago. Mm, and yeah, I like to go up to the Bay Area and whatnot. I want to visit Elaine at work. Can we get like a? I want to see what it's like over there. Oh, thank you. No, not bees. I probably should. Mm, they caught one person, Jones. Yeah, she's 14 pounds. Oh, Grunt's only 8 right now. Oh, I think mine would be like 6. I think the boy is 6 and she's like 5 pounds. Did I ever come to Italy? No, I did not. I would love to visit I would love to visit Italy. Like, I tried learning the language, but I'm so awful. Like, buongiorno, you know. Mi ha fatto piacere conoscerla. Thank you, Louise. I really appreciate it, and I love you guys too, cause you know, really grateful that you guys were able to like, help. So, um, I don't know, Juan. We'll see. I guess like what the future holds. A guard dog? Yeah, a lot of people have suggested that. Um, I'm thinking like it's hard to think like given this what's happened whether a dog would have helped us or not because I think some people suggested it. So I don't know. It was either it would have helped because they would have heard the dog barking, or they would have just shot the dog when they came in. I don't know. But then maybe if they shot the dog, then people would hear the gunshots. So it's one of those things that I've thought about and like tried to play scenarios in my head, and I can't, and I shouldn't do it because I have the craziest, most fucked up brain, and sometimes I get lost in it. So, whew. um, but yeah, getting better like alerts, like I think helps. I did, Adam. That's crazy. I know, Elaine. I agree. I love them too, but it's not the same as like just the amount of work involved. Hmm. Admiral Bulldog would have helped. if I saw them coming, okay, if I here's the thing, and I think it's just like very hard for me to shake it off, like to shake off like whatever training that I had. If I saw them coming and I had, you know, reasonable time and I'm able to position myself in a way where I know that I will hit nobody but them, then sure. But if I put any other lives at risk, including my own, just to try and get into a gunfight with some bad guys, I don't know if it's worth it, you know? Like, for example, with what happened, if I had, like, say, if at that very moment when that thing happened the way it did, and I had, like, a gun in my hand, and I tried to, like, play a shootout with the bad guys, I would have lost, because I would have had to shoot through Sun's fan. They would have shot at me, because it was, like, literally, like, right in the middle, like, we were in a small hallway, and who knows, like, what other collateral damage, like, would have happened. It's not worth it. Like, unless you know that you're able to actually, like, get a clear shot. So, I agree, Tech Taylor. Oh, thank you, Harry. Yeah, I'm sure we'll be in LA a lot more. Like I said, my family's over there, and BTS is over there, so. Mm, mm. Yeah, exactly. It's not Call of Duty. You don't respawn, and oh wow, Juan. No, I'm sure he'd appreciate it. Mm. Really? Yeah. I mean, it's Anthem. It's actually similar here as well. Um, unless you can prove, well, it depends on, like, some castle laws in different states vary. So there's certain states where they're very, like, a lot more, like, okay with you defending your property, and then in some places, unless you can prove without a reason, like, with like a without without a doubt that your life was in danger, then you could shoot someone, and at the same time you have to shoot to kill. So thank you, Boz. Hmm. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the guy was pretty much like bragging how he had a bulletproof vest. They had their guns ablaze. They came in acting like they wanted to be like cops or something. Because one of our theories is that I guess whoever lived in our apartment before, or an apartment that they were trying to go to, was a drug dealer. Because they were looking for guns and they were looking for drugs. We had one of them. And honestly, they were so disappointed with whatever haul, with the very little that they were able to get. That's why they wanted the money so bad, you know. And I guess, like, to me, at the end of the day, all of, like, the items that they took and whatnot, those are all replaceable. What pisses me off the most is that they freaking destroyed my like, what's the word, like, my sense of security, you know, and that's not okay. So to me, like, that's like the most fucked up thing. It's like, so yeah. Um. Okay. I think I would love to keep talking to you guys, but so this was pretty. That was a lot. Um. So thank you for being here again. Thank you guys, everybody who was involved, or everybody who reached out. I really, really do appreciate it. Um, so what I'm gonna end up doing is I will be, I guess, making this into a VOD, and I'll put it up on YouTube. I am just gonna use this as the you know, this is a story and that's it kind of thing. After this, I kind of just want to move forward. I have a lot of positive things to like look forward to. You know, I'll meet you. Whoever's going to TI4, I'll be there. I'll be doing giveaways since unfortunately I mean I keep saying unfortunately you'll never know if maybe I'm able to stream. I love you too, Elaine. I love you. Um, I'll give it to you. Yeah, I'll message it to you later. Um, yeah. So the usual I do like what I similar to what I did last year. Similar to what I did last year. Um, I'll put up like you know codes, like I don't remember the name of the codes on Twitter and on Facebook and my Steam group, and we'll be posting a lot of pictures, a lot of content, so be sure to follow all our social media stuff, blah blah blah, promotion stuff. And then I will be, as soon as TI is done, I swear on um, kittens that I will be back to streaming on a much more consistent schedule. So yeah, so I look forward to like hanging out with you guys again and playing with you guys some more. So, oh, danke, Apu, danke, danke, danke. Die Frau is grateful. Your birthday's on July 14th. I think Neil's is like soon too. It's gonna be while we're there. Um, my birthday is in August. Thank you, DSR. In India? Oh, nice. Oh, I mean, that's one of my biggest things is to travel like many places. It makes I get a little jealous that some fans like been to all these like other countries. Um, so someday I'm gonna do that. Hmm. All right, it's on the 10th. Oh, hmm. Okay. All right, I'm done. Here's my forever good nights, everybody. You know, thank you, Sish, CISH. Whoa, we're all birthday friends over here. um, okay. Have a good night or good morning if it's morning for you guys. And uh, can I talk in German? No, the best I can do is Guten Tag, die Frau trinkt Wasser. Oh, no, die Frau trinkt Smirnoff, vodka or something. I don't know. And then um, ich habe einen Kater or something. I don't know. All right. Ich liebe dich or something. Yeah. All right. Good night, everybody, or good morning. Yeah. Bye bye.